Good morning. As you know, I grew up in Houston, Texas. Lived there from when I was born till I was 18 years old, and then went off to college, and then took a little country church, and it was a wonderful time growing up there. I grew up attending First Methodist Church in Houston, a downtown church, a large sanctuary with beautiful stained glass, and I never would have dreamed that one day I would have the opportunity to serve a large downtown church with beautiful stained glass and a big pipe organ. It's what I grew up with, and I loved it so much. The only senior pastor that I ever knew growing up was Charles Allen. From the time that I was born to the time I went into the ministry, he was the only senior pastor that I knew, and I listened to him almost every Sunday morning because we were in church almost every Sunday. And though I have been gone now from there almost 50 years, I still remember a story that he told. Charles Allen was from Georgia. He grew up out in the country. And he had stories that just sometimes really made sense. And I never forgot, 50 years later, a story he told about a farmer who needed some helping hand out on his farm. And he put an ad in the local newspaper, and a young man came out to interview. He seemed nice enough. And so the farmer started showing him around and said, I want the horses every night, put into the barn. Will you do that? And the young man said, well, I can sleep well on a windy night. Okay. He said, I always like the cows. I want the cows to always be inside, and I want them put into the barn. I can sleep well on a windy night. He took him around and said, here's the tractor, here's all the different tools. I'd like them to be put up and for the barn to be secured. I can sleep well on a windy night. The hay barn over here, it's very important to us because we're trying to keep this hay dry and be able to always take care of the animals. I can sleep well on a windy night. The farmer thought, the boy seems maybe a little touched. He didn't quite understand, but he seemed nice enough and he seemed sincere, and he didn't have any other options, so he decided to take a chance on him and just see how he would work out. Everything went fine for the next couple of weeks. The young man worked hard. He was knowledgeable. He was always there beside the farmer to do whatever he asked. No, he had made a good decision. And then one night, a storm came up. It was in the middle of the night. And the rain was coming down and the wind was blowing hard. And the farmer immediately began to think, oh my goodness. He ran outside, and the horses, well, they were put up into the barn. He looked for the cows. They were put up in the barn. He started looking for the tools and the track. They were all put away, all in their place. He ran to the hay barn. It was secure. And suddenly he understood what the young man had meant. I can sleep well on a windy night. He simply meant, I'm going to work hard and do all the important things that I need to do so that when a storm blows, I'll be able to sleep well. One of the things that I've learned in life is that sooner or later, the storms blow. The rain pours and the wind howls. We all have those storms that come our way. And what's really important is when the sun is shining to do all those things that you need to do, especially growing in your faith. It always saddens me when I go to the hospital and someone is dying and family is in grief, and they have done nothing to prepare themselves. They've not been going and worshiping. They haven't been studying. And now they suddenly need a faith to hold on to. And they don't have it. No, it's so important as you and I are going through life to be doing those things that really do matter. Remembering to tell people how much we love them. Remembering to work hard to deepen our relationships. To work hard to make sure that we're growing in our faith and we are walking close with Christ. If we will do the right things when the sun is shining, then we too will be able to sleep well on a windy night. You have nothing to be afraid of. I hope you'll go out and make it a great day in the sunshine.